Hi everybody and welcome to Heel Heat. My name is George Coles, and on this video, we're going to talk about Bray Wyatt. I'm probably going to call him Bray through this video. His given name is Windham Rotunda, son of the great Mike Rotunda, grandson of the great Blackjack Mulligan. And the reason for this video is just a few hours ago, I found out that Windham Rotunda, aka Bray Wyatt, passed away. And it's kind of the second punch of a 1-2 punch over the last 2 days. Yesterday, at the time of this recording, I found out that Terry Funk had passed away, which is a real gut punch to me, because Terry Funk, to me, is the greatest of all time. Bray Wyatt is a gut punch on a lot of other reasons. First off, he was only 36 years old. That is way too young. He had 2 young children. I think both of his kids are under 5 years old. And he seemed to be a guy that was still in his prime and ready to really break through and live up to everything that everybody thought of him. I mean, when I think back in the career of Bray Wyatt, there's so much potential and so much more that could have been done. And that's not to say he didn't have a great career. If he would have retired and left the wrestling business today and lived to be 100, he still would have been a Hall of Fame. Bray was able to tap into something that's kind of been part of wrestling for 50 years now. Going back to Kevin Sullivan and his armies in Florida, or Raven and his nest in ECW and his flock in WCW, or Jake the Snake Roberts. Bray was able to tap into that psychological side of pro wrestling, that different level that few wrestlers get to go to. He attacked pro wrestling with such a creative mind and such a different take on it than anybody before him. Yes, there was shades of Kevin Sullivan, shades of Raven, shades of Jake Roberts, the guys that came before him, shades of the movie Cape Fear, and Danny Spivey as Waylon Mercy. He had shades of that as well. Even at Bray's weirdest and strangest, he found a way to ground it in reality, where you believe that this horror show or psychological movie could really happen. My favorite run, of course, is the Wyatt family, him and Luke Harper, Eric Rowan, and then eventually Braun Strowman. I just love the fact of that backwoods, somewhat cult, somewhat voodoo, somewhat serial killer vibe they had. It was just great. I mean, when you had the 2 factions coming up between them and the Shield, it was like a breath of fresh air into WWE. You had 2 brand new things. And you have this guy that's ultra creative. I mean, he goes on after the Wyatt family, comes back with the Firefly Funhouse, the Fiend gimmick, Uncle Howdy, which I would have loved to see where that all would have went, because even as recently as a week or 2 ago, we were hearing rumors that he's going to be coming back soon, that he's cleared to wrestle. And Sean Ross Sapp broke the news that he passed of a heart attack related to COVID. And just gonna put this out there. Whatever you think of COVID, let's ignore that. We're doing this as a tribute to the man, not as a political argument. So please, just let's keep it to Bray. I had to come here and do this. I really didn't want to do this video. I really didn't want to do... There's another video I did on Terry Funk that's probably already out. I didn't want to do either of them because both of them break my heart so badly. Terry Funk, because he's so intrinsic to what I love about pro wrestling, and Bray Wyatt because of the untapped potential, what could have been. How much further could he have taken this? I really feel like Bray Wyatt was this generation's Undertaker. He had that potential to keep that going and be 20 years in and 30 years in, and WrestleMania 55, we'd still see Bray Wyatt with a brand new version of himself. It's such a shame and such a sad thing that happened. I mean, I keep going back to the fact of how young he was and the 2 young children, and it's sad because my father died when I was young, and I knew how much that hurts me and how much it did hurt me. Luckily, I had a fantastic stepfather that kind of took some of that void, but you never really get over that, and those 2 children are going to have to go through that. I know this is kind of a ramble and just a stream of conscious kind of video, and there's really no point. I didn't put any notes down. I just wanted to come and talk about Bray for a minute. It's just so sad and so depressing. I really hope that when Bray Wyatt got to heaven, Brody Lee opened the gates for him and they hugged. That's the only thing that's given me a little bit of solace about this, because it's a damn shame. With all that, I do have to say, rest in peace, Bray Wyatt, Windham Rotunda. You put a lot of joy in a lot of people's hearts, mine included. I mean, anyone that watched you loved you. My condolences, my thoughts, my prayers out to your family. That's basically all I have to say about this. My name is George Coles, and this has been another Heel Heat.